Hello everyone, welcome to SecJuiceCon 2026. My name is Harshvardhan Malla. I work in application system security. Today, I want to talk about a taboo topic in our industry where we are going to discuss what happens when the very rules designed to keep us safe actually introduce more risk into our environments. Let's deep dive into when compliance becomes the threat and look at the real world app security trade-offs we face in a highly regulated systems. We have a core problem in our industry. We treat compliant and secure as if they are the exact same thing, but they are two completely different goals. First, compliance is a lagging indicator. A framework measures what your security posture looked like yesterday or last year when the framework was written. It doesn't measure today's zero-day threats. Second, it becomes audit optimized. We spend months and months of time tuning our controls just to keep the auditors happy, rather than tuning them to actually stop the attackers. Ultimately, this creates a false confidence. Executives see a green checkmark on SOC or PCA reports and assume that the system is impenetrable. But the checking a box doesn't stop a dedicated attacker. Let's look at the first anti-pattern we see in regulated environments, the scanner avalanche. Compliance mandates usually say something like, you must scan all the code of vulnerabilities. So the security teams deploy SAST, DAST, and SCA tools and turn all the rules on. What happens next? Security generates massive noise. You wake up to a Tuesday morning report with 10,000 critical vulnerabilities. We see severity inflation, false positives, and duplicates. Because there is no context engineering that tunes it out, the backlog grows to a point where it's impossible to fix, so the reports get archived unread. The real danger here is that the actual unexploitable threat is the one that will cause the breach, that is hiding right in the noise but looks exactly like the 9,999 false positives that surround it. Anti-pattern number 2 is when compliance breaks your deployment pipeline. This happens when the process protects itself rather than the system. In regulated spaces, we often see build-heavy compliance checkpoints, but these heavy gates stops deploys. They bleed in the velocity of an engineering teams. Worse, the hot fixes wait for boards. Imagine a zero-day vulnerability drops the pipeline patch ready in an hour, but because of the compliance rules, we have to wait 3 days for a change advisory board to approve the deployment. Attackers are not waiting 3 days. When this happens, security becomes the department of no. And the developers are smart. If you block them, they will route around you. You will see a rise of a shadow IT, the side channel of deployments, which makes the company. How do we fix this? How do we satisfy auditors without destroying our security or engineering culture? We pivot to using compensating controls. This is how we legally cheat the compliance. Rule 1. Remember that the frameworks already allow the flexibility. SOC2, NIST, PCI, or if you read the fine print, every major framework permits alternative controls if you can justify them. Rule 2. Document the intent of the rule. Look at the controls that is blocking you. What is actually trying to achieve? Is it trying to identify users, contain blasts, detect malware? Name it. Name the specific outcome. Rule 3. Prove you achieve it differently than others. If you can show the auditor that your alternative, the modern method, achieves the exact same intent as the outdated checklist, they will sign off on it. Let me give you a real world example of context over checklists. A naive compliance read is force a 90-day password rotation. What if you have a legacy application that can't handle it? Or a service account that breaks every time the password rotates? What happens if engineers start pasting the new password in Slack to keep track of them? The outcome is actually a weaker security posture. Here is the compensating fix: a zero trust proxy with MFA. You put up an application behind a proxy, every request is authenticated and logged. You use phishing resistant MFA on the front end, and short-lived tokens replace those static credentials. If you document this properly, an auditor will accept it. Same outcome, much better security, and you don't break the application. To wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 rules of navigating app security in regulated systems. Number 1, automate the evidence. If a control requires engineer to take a human screenshot every quarter, this isn't control, it's a core. Build evidence collections into your CI/CD pipelines. Number 2, push context to developers. Stop sending 80-page PDF reports. Put the security findings directly into the IDE and the pull request where the developments already live. Number 3, accept the risk out loud. If you can't fix something, document why you didn't fix it. A signed risk exception beats a quiet, undocumented developer. The workarounds that we have every single time. Ultimately, remember, our goal is security's job is to reduce the business risk, not just to collect audit check marks. Thank you so much, SecJuiceCon, for having me. I know we have covered a lot of ground today. You can also connect me on the LinkedIn at the link below. Thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of the conference.